What if the mark of the beast wasn't a chip, it wasn't a barcode, it wasn't even anything futuristic, and the people who first heard Revelations already knew exactly what it meant? The Greek word used in Revelations for the mark is charagma, and here's the important part. Charagma never meant technology, and it didn't mean tattoos either, and it definitely didn't mean something implanted under your skin like we think it does today. You see, in the year 64 AD, Nero was the emperor of Rome, and he didn't just want obedience from his people, he wanted to be literally called Lord. At that time, he wanted to be worshipped, he wanted to be exalted, and he wanted that total allegiance. And here's where things really get wild. You see, if you gave that allegiance to Nero, you received something called a libellus, or a libellus, however you say it, proving your certificate of loyalty. With this certificate, you could buy and sell freely. It didn't matter. Without it, you could do nothing. In Greek, libellus simply means a written certificate. Rome issued these after you performed an act of loyalty to Caesar. That stamp, that certificate, functioned as your mark of allegiance. Not magic, not microchips, just public loyalty to the emperor on documented paper saying so. There's tons of historical artifacts and documentation proving that this actually did happen during Nero's reign when he was the emperor of Rome. And if you didn't have the libellus, you were locked out of the system completely. You couldn't join a trade guild, and you couldn't buy or sell in public markets. You were treated as a traitor and an enemy of Rome. And Christians at that time completely refused to say that Caesar is Lord because they knew that only Jesus Christ himself is Lord. So they were cut off completely, economically, socially, and legally. They were exactly like Revelations describes. Now here's the contrast. Revelation says the beast marks his followers, but God seals his people. The Greek word for God's seal is sphragus. It means stamp of ownership, set apart, and to protect, to declare someone as belonging to God. So the real question wasn't, do you have a microchip? The real question was, who owns you? Whose allegiance do you carry? So with all that being said, what about the forehead and the hand? In Revelations, when John wrote this, he wasn't referencing body parts. He was referencing the Old Testament, which was referring back to both Moses and Daniel when they said that God's people will be marked on their hands and their forehead. That was symbolism. So the forehead represents your mind, your beliefs. The back of the hand represents your actions, the work you do. So Rome marked its people through loyalty and behavior, and God marks his people through belief and obedience. If Nero's system fits buying and selling, the loyalty, and the mark, then what part of the prophetic timeline are we actually living in today? Follow for part 4, because what Jesus said about this generation turns everything upside down. I'll see you there.